For all that is tuning in, thank you for joining me in another presentation of this radio special titled Food for Thought, which is aired on WPPM 106.5 FM, Philadelphia, as well as telecasted on the cable television network of Comcast Xfinity Channel 66, Verizon Fios Channel 2930, Roku, Apple TV, and DirecTV, which all is promoted as PhillyCam TV. You can also go to phillycam.org and watch the live stream under the watch section and also view the previous episode at the James Hatcher YouTube channel. In respectable regards to PhillyCam is a collective of community and family oriented individuals that come together to collaborate on their creative artistic ideas and produce content to share, also to celebrate our purpose as members and contributors of society through various avenues of media. So, in this presentation of the radio special titled Food for Thought, the theme of the topic is determining and appreciating the purpose of music and the underlying message within it. When one thinks about music being an aspect of communication, it is expressed in such an undeniable form. Although it may relate to life experiences and situations that may relate to the composer of a song, it is presented to the listener in such a way that the listener may take consideration of whether the song should be compromised with their point of views, beliefs, possibilities, and probabilities of realistic circumstances that could or may have taken place in their own life experiences as well. Most music that has a vocal component is likely to have topics that is based on an individual's perspective and is shared in order to receive a commendable validation from others, which can be a verbal compliment or even through dancing. That is the food for thought for this episode. Now, joining me is a music recording artist whose vocal singing tones is not only appealing and attractive, but also her lyrical dedication to producing capella music is obvious. So, with no further ado, I welcome Kasarena.
Hello,
How you doing,
everybody.
Kasarena?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm very well, and it's a pleasure to actually have you here. Where are you originally from? Are you from Philadelphia?
I'm from Houston, Texas, H Town in the building.
Okay, all right. How's the
Gotta
weather there?
represent.
How's the weather there all year round?
I mean, mostly it's hot.
Yeah, y'all don't have no winters like in Philadelphia, huh?
It's not the same. I was telling somebody how when we did have a really cold winter,
Uh
all the
huh.
power in the city went out.
Uh huh.
Like we was without power for the days that it was cold. That's when we had the blackout
Uh
and
huh.
our power grid could not stand the cold. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
We're not used to cold weather. Like everybody goes to the store and buys up everything in the store.
Uh huh.
It's like something that we definitely not used to. We more used to heat than the cold.
Okay, so y'all don't really have no real winters there, like at least a little bit of
No,
snow,
not really. It
a little bit of
snows
frost.
probably every 10 years. I'll
Oh,
say it
okay.
snows every 10 years.
Okay. Well, I have to consider when I would like to go down there. So what genre of music do you consider your song to be categorized as?
I consider myself an R&B artist,
Okay.
but I am open.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to, work with hip hop, pop,
Okay.
throw some, contemporary gospel or
Okay. So how did you get into like the music and stuff like that? Like, how did you uh know that like this was your path of like your expression, like this was your purpose to, write music and do what you do?
My dad put me on early.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My stepdad Cedric, he was the choir director at our church,
Okay.
and I remember he was writing a song, and he used to play the piano all the time.
Mhm.
And he was like, "I want you to hear this song. I want you to write to it." And that's when I've always been a writer, but that's when I really noticed that I could put a song together.
How old was you about that time?
I was young because it had to be around the time I had got baptized. So I always think about when I was 8 or 9 years old.
So you was writing music at that
I
early
was
age.
I was writing music. Like I was very artistic. I would draw. Like that was my free space.
Mhm.
That was a space that I could always like go to find myself.
Okay. So so mainly your father gave you that type of influence on
Yeah,
writing
he
music.
he encouraged me. He must have knew, because
Uh-huh.
you can't always see yourself on the outside looking in. So he must have saw something, was like, man, and my mom sings, my grandma sings.
Mhm.
So it just made sense that I should be able to sing, and I did. I was
Okay.
able to.
Okay. All right. So how do you come up with the instrumental or melody to create your songs? And does the instrumental melody assist you in coming up with an idea or a song to write about just by hearing it?
Yeah, for sure. So I have to feel the song. Like as soon as I hear a beat, it has to resonate with me, or I'm not choosing it.
So it comes out natural.
Yeah, it comes natural. Like it'll sing to me, and then later on I listen to it, and
Mhm.
I just find the song to sing. Like the lyrics just come to me. I always pray too. I'm not gonna lie. I always pray to
Mhm.
God, and I'm like, give me the words to say.
Okay.
And then usually I hear it right away, but I always make sure I'm like,
Yeah, because I think, as a songwriter that could be like kind of a objective if you just go into making a decision to write a song over a beat and try to figure out what you want to write about instead of like balancing it out with just letting it come out naturally. And I think part of that attribute is to have an appealing beat or instrumental to
right,
get you into the spirit of just
yes.
coming out naturally.
'Cause you already know, like, the feeling you wanna release, or what's pent up. Like,
Right.
I feel like any type of art, singing, painting, creating, is
Hmm.
like something within you that you need to express, and so
Right.
I feel like the beat gives me, as a singer, that opportunity as a lyricist to put
Hmm.
it out.
And that atmosphere, the
Right.
atmosphere along with it.
But I
Okay.
gotta feel it. I gotta feel it.
Right. Okay. So how do you define the songwriting contents that a number of artists in your genre of music produce presently? And what do you think distinguishes your style of writing from theirs?
So, I listen to people because I like to listen to music, like, I like to vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but what would distinguish my music or my sound?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I sing about real life.
Okay.
Not saying that they don't, but
Uh-huh.
um everything that I write about, sing about, is very near to me. It's very close to me.
So it's more personal. You
For
feeling?
sure, for sure.
Okay.
And so I feel like because I have that authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what sets my music apart, because it's always going to be me.
Okay. All right. So, as your opinion, at what point did you, as an artist, have the passion of making music that you realized that it was more than just your self satisfaction, and that other people has to really feel the message that you are presenting?
I got you. So I told you that I started out a writer, so
Mm-hmm.
I've always known the power of words. Like I grew up reading Maya Angelou and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Toni Morrison, and I remember in college wanting to read Nietzsche.
Okay.
because everybody was like, you got to read Nietzsche. Like, this is deep, this is powerful stuff. So I always knew the power of words. And so then when I sung or when I sing, um, and another thing, I would never be able to go to sleep without listening to music growing up.
Hmm. Right.
Like I used to listen to, it was this station called 102.1 The Quiet Storm. If you from Houston, you know about 102.1 The Quiet Storm because it had all the oldies, the R&B love songs, and I had to listen to that.
Hmm.
And so I think early on I knew the power of words and what music could do for you because it was always soothing to me and it was always something that I needed to, keep going or just to even relax at times.
So that comes into saying that what you feel inside and how you express it, other people, they need to hear it
Yeah, for
in order to
sure.
feel the same way that you're feeling.
For sure. And I always knew that whatever I sung about,
Hmm.
even though a lot of times I am singing to myself or I'm singing to someone that I'm close to, I always know that somebody else can relate to that
Okay.
because I feel like when you have a voice and when you know the power of voice, your voice and having a voice, you know that somebody needs to hear that. You know that something that you say, however you say it, some way you sung it is gonna reach somebody else. And I've always wanted to be that person who, if I overcame something, if I got through something, if I shared my heart or my expression, then somebody would gravitate towards it. Like somebody could take that and be like, okay, that's for me. I feel what she's saying. I can relate to that.
Right, right. Speaking of singing, um, would you mind doing some live performances for us?
I love to.
Okay, so I guess we'll get into one of her songs and everything. What song would you have in mind to perform?
So I want to perform a few tracks or a few songs. They don't know.
Okay, so let's start with They Don't Know. Once again, this is the host, James Hatcher. You're listening to Food for Thought on 106.5 FM, WPPM-LP, Philadelphia.
I'm here at WPPM 106.5 with my friends James Hatcher and Allison. Thank you, Allison and James Hatcher, for being here. I am super excited to introduce this next song. It is They Don't Know by yours truly, Kasarena. It seems like yesterday when I met you, I wanted to know everything about you. Was it your smile or the way you talk? Or was it me and the way you turn me on? 'Cause it's the feeling I get when I see you. All my senses pick up when I'm near you. And my heart beats a crescendo. You do it to me, you do that, baby. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. No, they don't see you the way that I do, baby. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. No, they don't see you the way that I do. My hand in yours, your heart to mine. When we touch, it feels like paradise, paradise, yeah. My hand in yours, your heart to mine. When we touch, nothing stands between us, love. The spark in your eyes reminds me of mine. And there's no other way to describe just how I feel. It's the feeling I get when I see you. you. All my senses pick up when I'm near you, and my heart beats a crescendo. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. They don't see you the way that I do, baby. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. They don't see you the way that I do, baby. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. They don't see you the way that I do, baby. They don't know how I feel when I'm with you. They don't see you the way that I do, baby.
So we're back. Once again, this is James Hatcher. And that song was They Don't Know by yours truly, Kasarena. Beautiful song. All right. So, do you think the messages within the lyrics of a song ultimately coincides with the personality of the artist, and how?
For sure, especially if you someone like me who, takes the time to express what it is I want to say. It has to resonate with me in order for me to express it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be able to feel it to even find the melody, find my pitch, and for the audience to resonate with it. Even if you singing something or rapping or writing something that is not relevant to you or not from
Mhm.
you, you still have to resonate with it to some degree to even act it out.
So that gives you the opportunity to express in a way where you don't have to like explain it like as in a conversation like how you are, like you're singing and your music, the lyrics in your music verifies the type of personality that you have
I agree.
without somebody trying to figure out like what type of person this is. It makes it a lot more easier for you
Right
to put
on.
yourself out there um, to a vast variety of individuals that's into listening to music in a way where you don't have to like walk around on a normal life and just try to it seems like nowadays that there's a thing where individuals feel like they have to validate themselves in a certain way, but it's kind of difficult. So for you to be able to express yourself in a form of music and have that ease of expressing yourself in that way, that's a commendable thing because it's a lot more easier than somebody that may feel like they have a purpose but not able to express it in the way that you express it.
Look, I learned from the greats. Like, so if you listen to Luther Vandross, right?
Hmm.
You know that Luther need love, right? Like you know that Luther gonna come with the long notes. He gonna really draw you in. He gonna pull you in and out. But when the song ends, you gonna be like, wow, he don't gotta move around too much. He just gotta be Luther with Whitney Houston.
Hmm.
You know Whitney Houston gonna come with the pipes. She got the vocals, she got the dance. You know what to expect from an artist. Um
So, what do you think is the key factor that makes your song compelling enough to when they listen to it that they automatically have the urge to sing that particular song? What do you think? Do you think it's the way they sing it, or is it the words? What is it for you?
For me, it's a combination. So I want to hear the sound, like I want to hear the beat.
Hmm.
The melody got to be fire.
So, does it make that easier to remember the words, the
It
lyrics
makes
to the
it
words?
it definitely does. It definitely does. And I want to feel it. Like I feel like you can miss some components in your music
Hmm.
as long as you have like the emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how come people can sing a cappella,
Hmm.
but you still feel it. Like without the sound, without any type of background noise. It's because they gave you their heart.
Okay.
They gave you the emotion, that real raw, whatever it was that they want to let out. You felt that.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, so although you have written plenty of songs, is there one specific song of yours that is a constant reminder of your purpose?
That was a deep question. You got me on that one. Like, it's not one song though.
Okay.
Like, as I transitioned in my music journey,
Mm-hmm.
there were different songs along the way that helped me. Like, a lot of people don't know,
Your personal song that you have written.
right?
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that when I wrote or when I created my EP Golden,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have nowhere to stay. Like, I had an overnight job. I was working at a youth shelter, and I would literally like leave work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a place to stay. Like, I was staying with a family member, but it really wasn't a place to stay because it wasn't comfortable and I couldn't go there
Okay.
because I didn't feel comfortable. So it was like I didn't have a place to stay. And then at times when I couldn't go back there because we had like a crazy flood, I didn't have nowhere to stay. I was sleeping on the bus, working overnight. I remember getting my income tax check and I went and created my EP Golden
Okay.
because I was like,
What was your favorite song out of that EP?
I love the whole EP, but I'm getting to your question in
Right.
what songs that do I have that motivate me or inspire me to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the songs that's on the album is called Fly. And at the time that really solidifies what I feel like I was going through because sometimes you can feel trapped
Okay.
or
And
feel
that is
like
that what the song's about? Like,
you got to hear the song.
okay.
So my EP Golden is on YouTube, is on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another song off the album, Forever Yours, You Ready. Those were songs that in that time that really helped me to keep going, that really helped me to keep pushing towards my music. And the fact that, I wasn't really stable and I was going hard. Like I was at the studio, like that was my drive, my motivation to keep going.
Okay. So okay, so this present album or EP, what is this present EP that you're working on
So
called?
my new album, Diamond,
Okay.
that is it. Diamond.
Okay. So what's the difference between the contents that you had for Golden and the contents that you have for Diamond?
So with Golden, I was I needed that. Like I feel like I needed to be able to create Golden to
Hmm.
keep going. Like that was my what do they
So it
call it?
was a
Your mantra.
motivational album.
Like a mantra. Like it wasn't all it was motivational,
Hmm.
but I needed it. Like I needed it to create, to keep going, to live, like to not die in that time. I feel like a part of me could have died, like had I not had something to aspire to,
So
a
it's like a
dream to
constant
push.
reminder of your inner strength.
Right. That's Golden.
Okay.
With Diamond, it's like me transitioning, me becoming a new version of myself, me building upon what I already know myself to be and really going with it. Like if you listen to my album Golden or my previous tracks or projects that I did,
Hmm.
I'm still finding my voice. In
Hmm.
Diamond, I feel like I've come into my own voice. I'm not trying to strain or sound like somebody else. I'm really owning my own sound. And it's more to me, even though it's high, I would say songs that are more upbeat,
Hmm.
I'm still Kasarena. Like I'm still singing how I would sing or how I would feel it. And I feel like I made sure when I was in the studio, I told my producer, like, make sure it's live. Like, make sure you can hear my song. Make sure you can hear my raspiness. Cause my voice, I can sing those lower range tones
Hmm.
comfortably.
Right. Who gave you that name, Kasarena? That's a pretty name. I never heard of that name until I met you.
Thank you. My mom did. My mom gave me my name.
Is it a specific meaning to that name or specific
Um,
origin with that name? Did she tell you the reason why she gave you that name?
she said she was in church. She asked God what to name me. He said Kasarena. She had to figure out how to spell it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's a very unique name. Okay. So, is there a particular exercise or a certain dietary routine that you practice in order to keep your singing tone in a desired vocal range?
Yes.
Okay.
I drink a lot of water.
Okay. That's very important. That's for anybody. You gotta drink water.
I drink a lot of water, and before I do any performance, I prepare my voice. I'm rehearsing. Um I make sure that I used to drink a lot of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking tea if I'm stretching my voice because you can tell if your voice is tired. I try to get a lot of rest before performances
Okay.
because your voice is like a muscle.
Right.
So just like you have to rest after you work out, I feel like I have to do the same thing for my voice.
Is there any like solid foods that you eat or don't eat before a performance, or that you feel like affected you, like after singing or before singing?
I mostly eat healthy, but then I am very active, so I
Mm-hmm.
like to eat whatever I want.
Okay. Okay.
I
All
feel
right.
like that's the perks of being active.
Okay.
You can eat
All right.
whatever you want.
Right, right. Well, I know with me, I have a restricted diet because I guess the way my body is and my genetic makeup, I drink a lot of water, but I don't really try to stay away from like acidic foods. So I feel
Mm,
like, certain things that's acidic may affect like the way that, the projection of a tone for a singer
right.
may, take place or
I
whatever
got
like that.
you. I don't think so. It's certain things that I won't drink before I perform because I
Hmm.
know it makes my throat it's not as much, it's not as moist, I'll say.
Right.
Like I couldn't drink this before I perform. I
Okay.
can't drink coffee. I have to drink teas and lots of water. And even some teas aren't good for me to drink before I perform. But
Does it
most
affect your throat in a
it
way?
does. Like I think it's kind of weird to say that your throat can be dry, but you know how your mouth can be dry.
Yeah.
Your mouth can be dry,
Hmm.
and that's not good for singing simply because you want to have um more fluids,
Clear
a
air
clearer
passage.
sound. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of, I would like to hear another song from you, and I think the
Okay.
listeners would love to hear another song from you. So, uh, what would you like to perform next for
Let's
us?
go with you.
With you. All right. Once again, we are with you with the song "With You." From yours truly, Kasarena. And once again, you're listening to 106.5 LP Philadelphia.
This is Kasarena, and you're listening to my new single, With You.
This is what I wanted. Just some time for me and you. It's just been a long day, and I'm trying to be with you. It's the time to relax, it's the time to unwind. When I celebrate your presence, I don't need to think twice with you. No need to think twice with you. And all I really need is to feel your touch. And all I really know is that I'm so in love with you. I think about it with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's the things that you do. I think about it with you. All the time that I spent, some days, all the moments that passed away. I feel like I just wanted to grab you and take all of you with me. I can't be so far away, so far away. I feel like I'm astray. Just the things you do to bring me close to you. Hey, yeah,
And I wake up sometimes and I'm on cloud nine with you, with you. Hey, yeah, yeah. And I celebrate twice when I think of my life with you, with you. Hey, yeah. Oh, when I think of you, I wanna sing a song to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we're back once again. I'd like to thank you once again, Kasarena, for joining us for Food for Thought. You just listened to With You. Okay, so do you prefer to keep the contents of the lyrics you write and your music to a certain age bracket, trend, or topic? Or are you open to write according to how the opportunity or situation presents itself?
Most definitely open. I don't write to a specific age group. Um,
Do you think that might be a hindrance if you're looking at it in a way where you feel like you want, like, for a specific artist other than yourself, like for the artist to say, or an individual that may not really have that much experience in songwriter, but they may be like, well, I want to write. They know they can write music, but just to write about a specific topic or whatever. Do you think that if they focus too much on a certain, like, certain genre or a certain trend that they're listening to on a radio or whatever, that could be like a hindrance? Like, I mean.
for me, it can.
Hmm.
For me, it can because I feel like it's only gonna be one person that can be me.
Right.
And so if I try to follow all the trends and sing or write about what everybody else is writing about, I feel like I lose me.
Okay.
Um,
So you
like I
don't listen to like the radio too? I
no,
mean, as
I
far as
listen.
like other artists and stuff like that. Like, how do you balance that out? As far as um, because like, being an artist, you might not have a full day to just sit down and just write song after song after song, and then, I mean, it's
You will be surprised. I listen to music all the time.
okay.
I don't listen to certain artists. Like I don't go, well, that's not true. I do that, but it's no. So what I was gonna say is I when I go to a playlist,
Hmm.
like let's say I decide today I want to listen to Jordan Armstrong. That's a playlist on Pandora that I've been listening to a
Okay.
lot, but it plays different genres of music. Here lately, I haven't just been listening to one artist. Like I won't pick up my phone and say, "Oh, I want to listen to this person today and see how they sound." I feel
Right.
like that's never something that I've done because I've always wanted to sound like me.
And not just the sound, but the certain
Right.
specific topics that they might be talking about or the content within their music.
And let me tell you why I don't do that. It's because whatever I had to say, it's unique to what I have to say. You know, you like as a poet or as an artist, you're always trying to find that thing that is unique to you.
So, do you suggest that a person or an artist is more preferable or better for them to listen to, like, say, like you said, like Pandora, for example? They play like a lot of different type of
Spotify
genres.
does too,
Spotify.
Apple Music.
Do you think that even YouTube, do you think that it would be more suitable for an artist that want to keep that so-called authenticity within themselves to listen to like instrumentals more so than listening to another artist that may be speaking on a certain topic to help them to write a certain song?
So I'll just be real transparent and just
Okay.
tell you this. So when I first started writing
Hmm.
songs, I used to write poetry or
Okay.
journal. So I really didn't know the outline for writing a song. There's no class that I took or book that I read to
Okay.
learn how to write a song. So in that regard. I had to listen to artists. I listened to Taylor Swift. I like country music.
But
So
you
I would
said journalism.
journal. When you journal, not journalism.
Okay.
I've taken some courses in journalism, but when you journal, it's free writing.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is none of that writing could prepare you to write a song. So in some instances, you do have to listen to people to learn different things. And I feel like I learned how to tell stories and get the art of music from listening to other artists.
Or what about just looking around into your environment and looking at the activities that's going on around you and then trying to write according to the activities that's going around you in the form of a song? Do you think that might be a good exercise for somebody?
I think that
Like if the siren, if a like truck driving down the street, a fire truck, and they going, the sirens, and then you hearing the baby crying. Like, how do you think that might be a key? Just looking at all the activities around you. You think more people should do that instead of just listening to a whole like line of people singing about the same thing?
I feel like as artists, we all have our own creative expression in the way
Hmm.
that it makes sense to us. Like the way I feel something and the way I have to make sense of my process may not be the same thing for somebody else. So I would say whatever feels good for you, whatever gets you created, but always keep who you are and what's unique and tangible at your core. Like whatever it is that is you, do that, because I've done things that I wasn't comfortable with. I've sung things that I wasn't comfortable with. And then later on the outside, because we know that this stuff is lasting, I was like, man, I would do this differently. So I would say do whatever makes you proud. Do whatever you feel like you want to give to your family or your kids, or even years down the line. How do you want to be remembered?
Okay. Do you think academics play a big part into having like a successful song or whatever lyrics, like being able to study even if you ain't do good in school? Do you think later on down the line somebody need to go to the library and pick up a
Look,
dictionary and
I used to think that you needed school for everything because I'm a creative writing major. Like that's
uh-huh,
what I go to school for. Um,
because I mean, with a lot of artists they might be using the same words, so
but look, I've met people or heard people's stories where they didn't go to any school.
mhm,
Like they just did it. Like it was just natural to them. So again, it's like whatever works for you. But I do feel like being in the music industry, being an artist,
mhm.
you do have to be business minded.
Okay,
You have
all
to
right,
be business savvy. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know about your craft. You have to be willing to learn and grow and not allow somebody to take that from you.
right,
You do need that.
okay, all right. So outside of the monetary benefits, what do you think can be an advantage and the disadvantage between a signed artist and an independent artist?
Outside of monetary advantage.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think the advantage of being a signed artist would be outside of the monetary benefits of it? Like, say, like an advancement. What do you think would be the benefits of it for a signed artist?
so I've had both.
Okay.
So the benefits when I was a signed artist
Hmm.
was I had the record label backing me.
Okay.
They did most of the work in terms of where I performed, what songs I sung, and they, you know, put me out there in a sense like that.
Okay.
As an independent artist, I have had to do more of the back work.
Okay. Is that an advantage for you to do the back work?
For me, I love that because it's allowed me, like I was saying, to be more business minded and
Hmm.
more savvy about what I'm doing.
Okay.
Whereas when a label was doing it, they were taking care of those things. I didn't have to worry about it. I mainly just focused on being an artist,
Okay.
singing, performing, or rehearsing.
Okay.
And so I like both aspects. Now, at a certain point in my career, I would like to be able to not do as much. But right now I feel like we were talking about stages, this is the stage that I'm in. I need to know as much as possible about what I say I love and what I want to do and owning that.
Right. So, what do you think the disadvantage of being a signed artist would be?
Disadvantages, you lose some of your creative control.
Okay.
And
Good
then
answer.
your work, your projects are still under somebody else in a sense. So then it's coming up with how we gonna break this down. Um,
When you're the content creator of it.
when you're the content, exactly,
Wow.
is your work, but they still, because they're the label, they still own a part of your music or whatever you put out or your performance.
Or they make you think they own it.
They make you think they do, but in a sense, if they are doing everything for you, they want you to sign a contract saying, we got XYZ, however we
And we're
split
the
it.
reason why these is a multitude
Exactly.
of people that's streaming your music and stuff like that. So that percentage goes to us anyway.
Exactly. So whereas as an independent artist, I can work with different people in their own right. Like I
Hmm.
can work with a producer, I can work with a publicist, I can work with a media team, and I can decide how I pay them or how we split with that. From my own standpoint,
Hmm.
I've eliminated that record label because now I am my record label.
So do you think there's a real disadvantage of being a independent artist, or is there really none?
So I'm not a pessimistic type of person. I'm very optimistic and I love a challenge. Like I love being able to say that I worked for something or I built something or I took something and didn't know and got it to a certain point. So I don't see any disadvantages of being an independent artist. If I had to say there was one disadvantage, I do a lot of work.
And it's time, and
It's
it seemed like
nonstop.
it seemed like it takes a lot longer to get to a certain point that you might see
But I'm
that the media might show you that, oh, this guy and or
and
this individual, this female, she then got all this. You know what I'm saying? But
it may take longer,
it
but
seemed
I
like it's
own
an
it.
imbalance though. For the artists that seem like they're the overnight sensation or overnight success, it just seems like the balance between what they have and what they possess and so-called accomplish, it kind of it imbalances because of what they're projecting out there as far as their content and the creation, the so-called creation and the production and the presentation that they're putting forth from the music. It doesn't seem like
No,
it's
no, you're right. But you know what? I feel like at the end of the day, when I go home and I go to sleep,
hmm
I know the work that I put in to get to a certain place.
right,
And even though it may look like it's not as glamorous or it's not as quick, like I'm proud of that. Like
right,
I'm okay with that because you never know what somebody else did to get where they are as fast, or you never know how much they sacrificed. I'm not taking away
right,
from
right.
them and what they did or
Well, I
where
could
they how
tell
they
you
got
that
there.
there is a big difference in the character and the personification of an individual that you might watch, that you might see, that might be glamorous on TV, but when you actually see them in person and you
Hmm.
have that same type of talent, but it seems like it's a little bit more authentic, and you
Right.
approach this individual, then it's a kind of a different, like, it's a different persona, it's a different aura that they might carry. That's from my experience.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say who it was, but I didn't had incidents where I hadn't had these different artists, performing artists. I meet them backstage or off stage or at an event or whatever like that, and I introduce myself now, and I might give them a little piece of my talent, and it's like it's a different persona. Either they freeze up, or it's like they don't want to say nothing.
I've
You
been
know what I
there.
mean? And
I've
I'm
been
like,
there.
yeah. So I guess you gotta, like, to see that reality, you have to cross that bridge when you come to it and
I
everything.
I've experienced that before. People, believe it or not, send me their music all the time. Like they want me to listen to different things that they put out or
Uh huh.
work with them. And sometimes it's not always that they're not good, or sometimes they're not good. And I'm just like, I don't want to tell them that. But for the most part, I'm always looking for artists that I can work with that are not similar, but we have the same vibe.
Right.
Like
Okay.
we
So
can.
how do you differentiate if the artist is presenting their music composition to you to say, yeah, do you think this is good enough to work with, or they're just giving it to you to make you like feel
because
like
they'll tell you, like
to
they'll
make
tell
a
you,
comparison or to get some type of validation from you.
like if the artist says, "Hey, tell me what you think," then of course I'm gonna get them feedback. Like I'm gonna let them know how I feel about it.
Hmm.
But if it's like sometimes they come to you, "Oh, I want you to be on my track,"
Okay.
so that's how I know how to, assess it or look at it or differentiate the
And
two.
that's very difficult to be able to have a balance of saying, well,
Right.
I have to I won't be able, you have to
And
put it in the
sometimes they
right
don't,
words to
right.
turn them down because
Sometimes they don't fit my project. Sometimes it's
yeah,
not them. It's just that's
you
not
don't
what
want
I'm
to hurt
on
their
right now.
feelings, or
Right.
you don't want to be offensive, but I mean, it comes with
Right.
the territory. I didn't have experience like that yesterday, and I'm talking about as far as like I'm an illustrative artist as well, and I
Mm-hmm.
had a photographer come up to me talking about I want to use your pictures or whatever like that, but I was like, nah, I already got my own
Because you
routine.
said
You are,
right.
yeah,
And
and
when
it
I
just
first
feel like.
started, I worked with everybody. Can you say that you felt like that when you first
Yeah, and I'm
started?
like, I'm already at this point. So
Yes.
like, just to add on that extra baggage, you know what I'm
So
saying?
you
It's
get it.
yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so I would like to get into another track if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So what would you like to sing for us next?
Let's play Diamond. Let's do Diamond.
All right. So once again, you're listening to 106.5 Food for Thought on WPPM-LP Philadelphia. And we're about to go into Diamond.
I hope you guys are enjoying today's broadcast of WPPM 106.5 FM. This is Kasarena, and you're listening to my next single, Diamond. Look into the mirror of your heart. Open your eyes, you'll see clearer. Don't you know who's standing before you? You are the one. Your brilliance like the sun, beauty stunning like the moon. You light up the room. You know you are a diamond. I love it when you shining. It's not just your attraction. You truly are a blessing. Your walk, your talk, your smile could go a million miles and still not find someone like you. Your class, your style, your grace, no one can take your place. Could go a million miles and still not find someone like you. You, you, you. And you are the one. Your brilliance like the sun, beauty stunning like the moon. You light up the room. You know you are a diamond. I love it when you shining. It's not just your attraction. You truly are a blessing. Your walk, your talk, your smile could go a million miles and still not find someone like you. Your class, your style, your grace, no one can take your place. Could go a million miles and still not find someone like you. Your smile can go a million miles. Someone like you. Your grace can't take your place and still not find someone like you.
Now we're back. In closing, we're uh about to close up a little bit. So what gives you the greater satisfaction, performing locally in a closed city or town where you reside, or do you like to travel at a distance to perform, possibly to a place where you could be there? It's your first time of being there, or and what do you think is the difference?
I'm not gonna lie, I love performing for my home team. Like in Houston
Mm-hmm.
and surrounding areas. But what I've enjoyed the most about performing outside of Houston is hearing the, you know, the feedback from people from other places. Like if you good at home, you like, okay, I might sound like other people here, so maybe that's why I'm good at home. But when you can go other places and they like your sound too, that feels good. That's like, okay, okay.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any suggestions on what could be some good ways that a performing artist can find venues where they can have the opportunity to perform?
For sure. Connect with your local art and entertainment community. Because when you around other artists and people who are, in the mix and more set in terms of where to perform and where to go, they're going to let you know what's good, where you can go perform, or even opportunities like this. We met at Mural Arts
Mm-hmm.
and you invited me to come out to WPPM 106.5. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that I met you, and thank you both. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for having me. Thank the station for having me,
Mm-hmm.
because had we not met, I don't know if I would have knew about this place, or later on maybe I would have, but the fact that I met you and you told me about it, that was
It's
awesome.
like divine intervention. All right.
So this is my clothing line.
Uh huh. Okay.
KB Royalty,
Uh
my
huh.
own clothing line. So this is the company that gives me the opportunity to do that.
They took a nice shot too.
They took a nice shot.
Yeah.
And in the back, I don't
Okay.
know if you can see the back.
So, is that the logo right there? The crown?
The crown is the logo.
Okay.
This was a shirt that I created for my album Diamond to promote it.
All right. Okay. So, are you in collaboration with any artist presently? And if not, would you consider collaboration with an artist? And what genre of music would you like for that artist to be in?
I'm open. I'm not working with artists right now just because I just been in a space where I've really just been wanting to put my sound out.
Okay. All right. Good
But I'm
answers.
always open to working with other artists,
Good answers.
and they don't have to be in a particular genre. I just feel like we should vibe. Like we should be able to make great music together.
Okay. Okay. So, what online or physical locations can someone who is interested in your music find it? And how can someone who may be interested in booking you for an on-stage performance contact you?
Okay, so I'm online. I want serious inquiries only. You can find me on all music streaming platforms, Kasarena,
That's for
KA.
listeners, right?
This is for listeners. If you
Okay.
want to listen to my music, find my new project, Diamond, my new album, or any of my existing projects, Golden, my EP, and I release other singles. You can find me on all streaming platforms, KASARENA, Kasarena. I am on social media. I'm pretty much on everywhere, K.B.Royalty or Kasarena Batiste.
Okay.
If you're interested in booking me on stage, my email address is ksbrinfo@gmail.com.
All right. So thank you once again for tuning in to Food for Thought on WPPM-LP 106.5 FM Philadelphia. I'd like to thank you, Kasarena, for joining us in another beautiful presentation of this episode and everything. I bid you very much success and you accomplishing your goals as far as elevating the listeners and appealing to them and everything. You got very beautiful music. I love your music and
Thank
everything
you.
like that. Even when I'm not don't listen to it on the headphones, I still hear it in my head. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you have that type of effect on listeners and stuff like that. So, once again, I'd like to thank everybody. You can reach me on my Facebook page or check out my previous episodes of Food for Thought on my YouTube channel. The book Food for Thought, literary concept to theoretical reasoning, written and artistically illustrated by yours truly, James Hatcher. Once again, You're listening to 106.5. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And until you reach your next destination, take care of yourselves.
You keep falling, believing there's no way to win. You blame yourself and can't find the strength to get up again. You've lost all hope and it feels like you're on your own. It's painful, but you should know you're not alone. You gotta keep on fighting and keep on praying. You know you got so much life worth living. You got it, yeah. You know you got it, yeah. Keep on fighting and keep on praying. You know you got so much life worth living. You got it, yeah. You know you got it, yeah. Go ahead and dry your eyes. You can live if you want to. Don't you die. It'll be alright. Lift up your head. Go ahead and dry your eyes. You can live if you want to. Don't you die. It'll be alright. Lift up your head. Go ahead and dry your eyes. You can live if you want to. Don't you die. It'll be alright. Lift up your head. You can live again. It'll be alright. Lift up your head. You can live again. It'll be alright. Lift up your head, you can live again.